Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the PGR2 game night from the 13th of March, and we move into the American Muscle class, and there is quite a mix of cars being used in this one. I opted for the Stingray because most people usually pick that one, but I think there's only me and one other in a Stingray for this race, so that does mean I'm a little bit overpowered for this one. But of course, crazy stuff happening on the first corner. We've got Nacho there and a few behind. PRG as well, so it's most of the guys from the first part, but we've got a lobby of 8 again, and Nacho's joined us again. I think it's Yerrick who is in the other Stingray, and there's a mix of I think there was the Ford Mustang Cobra, and also I think there's a couple in the Mustang Fastback 2+2, so they're both not too bad, quite equal for each other, but these Stingrays are far too good. And I'm just currently battling with Yerrick for the lead. He gets the inside line there, and I go for the cutback. And just about get the job done for this corner, so I'm able to cut back into the racing line there and get that done. He takes that corner quite nicely. And coming around this tight corner, getting a fairly decent exit, trying to minimise that sliding, and I think Yerrick might have just hit the wall there. Slowing him down a bit, so coming onto the final corner. Approaching the second lap, and we've got a nice little lead here, but then I do go a bit too wide there, crash into the barrier. So it looks quite spread out the rest of the field though. I think there's a couple close in third and fourth, and then sort of fifth backwards are a little bit more spread out. But Yerrick's staying about the same distance behind me at the moment in the Stingray. And going a little bit too wide there. Yeah, about a second, and I think he did catch through that corner as well. Not really driving particularly well at this point. That was a nice corner though. Get a good exit as well. And I think Yerrick hit the inside of the barrier there and lost a bit of control. This section can be quite hard to take, this narrow section. But again, taking it fairly well there. Nice and clean. Trying not to hit that barrier. Getting as close as I can to the apex. Nice exit as well, so I think I am pulling away slightly now. And these hairpins can also be quite hard to take quickly. In fact, 2.6 seconds ahead now. I think third and fourth are pretty much the same distance apart again. They're pretty close. Fifth maybe catching up slightly, and then behind, looks like 6th, 7th and 8th might be dropping back even more there. But I think some of them were in the, is it the Z28? One of the starter cars, so that's really quite unbalanced for the starter cars in this class. Not very good at all. I think Ponte GTO might be the other one. But fast forwarding to the end, I've got quite a healthy lead by the end of that race. So a good start to this episode. Nice win there. Yerrick coming in second in the Stingray. I think Sakis wasn't too far behind in the Mustang. PRG was also in the Mustang in fourth, not too far behind Sakis. And we've got Cryptic in fifth, Nacho 6th, Null 7th, and Petras in 8th there. And moving into Hong Kong, very small track, very, very hard to overtake cleanly or overtake at all on this track, but most people now in the Stingray, and I'm starting at the back of the pack, which can be a good thing sometimes or not, depending on how the first corner goes. Lots of crazy stuff going on. Nacho's flying sideways, getting pinned a bit there myself, find myself back into 7th, and then quickly up into 6th place for this long sweeping right-hander. Sakis just in front. I think Petras opted for the Ferrari 360, possibly, from the supercars, just to make it a bit more even for him. It's got good handling, but not as good speed, so it's fairly more even. Yeah, it's a 360 Spider, I think that might be. But in 6th place, behind them, there's Yerrick, Sakis and Petras all in front here. And this corner is also quite hard to take. You have to whip in with a good exit for a lot of speed there, coming across the line for the second lap. A big bunch of us here, actually 5 of us going into this corner. Someone in the Ford Mustang SVT as well, and then we're all getting pushed wide a bit, and I do get come off worse out of that corner. Was briefly in third, I think, for a minute there, and then or a second, and then went all the way back down to 6th. That's how quickly it can change on this track. Not the easiest to navigate at all. And Noel's behind in 7th, but still that group ahead. And taking that quite nicely. I think Petras and Sakis had a bit of a coming together, so able to get ahead of Petras there. Now behind Sakis, and I believe it's Yerrick still in front. So it is very difficult to pass unless someone makes a mistake. And I did get a really good exit there, but then I get sort of sandwiched between Sakis and Yerrick, slowing me down completely. So going into this corner again, I do actually go a bit wide there. And Sakis managed to get ahead of Yerrick in there. I think I am pushing him slightly there. Really hard to get out of that corner cleanly with both of you together. And coming around this section as well, good driving there. Not too much contact. And then this section, I don't know how you're supposed to overtake on this. It's just pretty impossible. I get a good exit, and I'm right behind him there, but there's just nowhere to go. He's just in the middle of the road. Can't go left or right, so I have to stick behind him. Trying to go up the inside here, but we both get a good exit, and he's forced me a little bit narrow there, so I had to back out. Right, on to lap number 4. I am just edging ahead, but unfortunately I'm on the wrong side for this corner, so Yerrick's going to get the inside line. So it's a good little battle going on here, but it's only for 4th place. There's 3 guys ahead. Sakis being one of them, just pulling away. I haven't seen PRG, so I think he may be one, and I haven't seen Cryptic either. So it might be those 2. Again, side by side here, but Yerrick's got the inside line for this corner. And then takes this corner fairly well. I was a bit slow through there. We can still see the guys in front though. But still having difficulty trying to get past Yerrick at this point. Coming around the final corner into the final lap, I take that way too narrow. Needed to come out a bit wider there for a better entry. But 3 tenths behind Yerrick. Final lap. Can we make any of these corners count? Taking this quite nicely. Nice and smooth. Yerrick just hits the wall slightly there, so we're trying to go up the inside just before this corner. No contact there. Just around the inside of him there, and just about getting the job done on the final lap. So we are in 4th position, but I get a hefty whack up the arse from Yerrick there, and then he does go on the inside a bit aggressively there and does pin me to the wall. So went straight into 4th place and straight away demoted to 5th place. It's just very, very hard to overtake cleanly on this this track. It really is, but we'll swap positions there. Let's say I came 4th, Yerrick came 5th in that one. But pretty close in the end. Not too bad. Some good racing involved in that. And it was PRG in 1st. Sakis actually overtook Cryptic there into 2nd. Cryptic 3rd. Yerrick 4th, me 5th. Petrus in 6th. Nacho 7th. And Null in 8th place there. So still an American muscle moving into Chicago. 3 laps of the River Tour. Starting in 1st this time. So this is a good thing if I can escape the chaos of the first corner. So going quite narrow there just to avoid any collisions and getting away cleanly it looks like. But Yerrick has also made it into the front of the pack in 2nd place. And going around there, not too bad. Yerrick right up my tail, right on my tail, but messes that corner up a little bit. And I also messed this up a little bit. I went in a bit too narrow, a bit too quick there, so I had to adjust my line, slow me down. So Yerrick right behind me. Going nice and smooth through here. I think both of us taking that quite well. Yerrick half a second behind. Coming into the narrow section. Do hit the wall slightly, slowing down. Yerrick does the same thing. Again, coming round this right-hander, the narrow section. Taking it a bit more smoothly, try not to slide. Just being a bit careful with the accelerator and onto the straight. And it looks like we've got a better exit there than Yerrick, so we're going to pull away a little bit on this straight. And coming to one of the most annoying corners in the game. Very hard to navigate this, especially in these slidey cars, but managed to do a pretty good job there. Not too bad, and Yerrick's followed through and done the same. So he's about 7 tenths behind. And coming into this long sort of hairpin corner and taking that not too bad, and then also clipping the barrier on the way out, which isn't ideal. But taking this corner nicely, using all the space there, so we are maintaining that lead. It's possibly up to a second now, it looks like, if we cross this start line. See what we're at. Yeah, 1.1 seconds now. So onto the second lap. Still driving fairly well. And again, looking at the mini-map, it's quite spread out for the rest of the pack. 3rd place, a little bit behind 2nd place. And not many others too close there, it doesn't look like. Taking this corner, still a bit slow. There's a lot of space to the left there, so I could do that section quite a bit quicker, I think. But this section's quite nice. And we are pulling away, I think, now a little bit more from Yerrick there. 2 seconds it is. Quite nice through this section. Using all the space, even though there isn't much space, so you've really got to use the most you can around there. Coming out slightly wider for that corner to get a better exit of this corner. And we are pulling away somewhat now, so that is going to be all of the action for that race. I did manage to hold on, and we can see Yerrick there, and someone was catching Yerrick in 3rd place. And it was Sakis, so he was only a second and a bit behind Yerrick there in 3rd place. PRG in 4th, Petrus in 5th, Cryptic 6th. Noel in 7th and Nacho in 8th there. So I managed to start first and stay in first for that one, so it wasn't too bad at all. So moving into the Track Specials series in Florence. Cryptic in 1st in the Dodge Viper. I'm in 2nd in the Ferrari Challenge Stradale, or Stradale. And I think there's more of a mix in this one, and more of an even mix. Yerrick in the Porsche as well. And just bullying Cryptic a little bit there, pinning him against the wall, it looked like, completely. We've got Sakis coming through. PRG's also in the Noble, and Sakis is in the Porsche as well. 4 of us here in close contention. I get pinned again there, not too good. PRG also gets pinned. I think that may have been a double pin by Yerrick there. And then he tries to turn, and I tried to turn as well, and I don't even know what happened there. We sort of got tangled in each other at that point. And I'm hitting the inside of the barrier. PRG is going around the outside. I think Sakis is breaking away in 1st now. And I'm in 3rd, just behind Yerrick. Just easing off of this corner. And Yerrick still just ahead. PRG behind. 3 of us really close here for this section. Coming around the last corner for the second lap, or onto the second lap. All 3 of us crossing the line at the same time, pretty much. And PRG lagged a bit there, and lagged behind me and boosted me forward. That was quite strange. So that pushed me all the way into 2nd place, which isn't too bad. Sakis is already a few seconds ahead now. I'd guess it would be over 2. And I make a bit of a mistake there with some sliding all over the place. Yeah, it's only 3 seconds. Sakis is ahead by, and Yerrick is 1.4 behind. So let's see if we can drive well and make some time back. Yes, Yerrick's fallen behind a little bit now, so it gives us a bit of space. Taking that corner quite nicely. It looks like we're making some ground up. And taking that corner nicely as well. Some quite technical tracks here, but then I do hit the wall there slightly, not brilliant. I do gain 3/10 on Sakis there. It would have been more if I didn't clip the barrier, I think. And it looks like PRG has moved up into 3rd place there. That was very, very close to the inside of the barrier there. That was on the limit, but again, gained about 4/10 through there. And then I ruined that corner completely. Going way too close to the barrier, hitting the barrier, slowing down, and taking a pretty poor line through there. So I'd have thought Sakis would have gained a bit more time on me there. It's probably closer to 3 seconds now on this checkpoint. Yep, 2.9, so that was the same as the last lap actually at that point. PRG is now 2 seconds behind, just over, in the Noble. Taking this section well again. We can see Sakis, so we've got a target to aim for. And then I crashed into the inside of the wall, which throws me off for that section as well, so that was pretty awful. So we probably lost a good second or more through there. And we can see PRG behind us now. So I'm taking some sections well and some not, so it's not brilliant. Sakis is 4.2 seconds ahead. PRG seems to be staying about the same distance behind. Just over 2 seconds, I think. And coming around the corner onto the 4th out of 5th lap. Still about the same, 3.9 seconds, but that is how it stayed. Pretty much, I think I may have gained a little bit more on Sakis by the end of that, and PRG was about the same distance behind, I think, for the entirety there. So we'll see on the finishing there. 3.4 seconds, so I gained a little bit of time back. PRG was actually only a second behind me, so he gained a bit more time back. Cryptic came 4th in the Dodge Viper. Yerrick 5th, Noel in 6th, Petrus in 7th, and Russia also joined us for that one, is in 8th. Moving on to Sydney, again a nice mix of the cars in this class. Very competitive, apart from the Noble is a bit better in a straight line. But coming round the first couple of corners, we are in 2nd place. I think it's PRG still in the Noble, yep. Onto the straight. Sakis also breaks away from the nonsense of the first few corners, so he's in 3rd. And we're drafting the Noble, and we've got not too bad top end in this, and the Porsche as well. The Noble's not very good though. And I make a mistake here, brake way too late. It's really hard to see the braking zone in there because there's a shadow covering the braking zone. So brakes way too late there. That allows Sakis through, and also PRG through, and then crashing into the inside of the barrier again. I really do that far too often, really. But oh well, that is what it is. So 3rd place, PRG and Sakis having a good fight for 1st place. I can't see who's behind me, but someone is fairly close, I think. Taking that corner quite nicely though, not too bad. It is Cryptic behind in 4th place. I'm not sure if he's still in the Dodge Viper or not. And this section is quite hard to take as well. But I do take that quite narrow, reducing the time I need to turn around the corner. And I did actually gain quite a bit of time on these two through there. On to lap number 2, only a second behind PRG and Sakis here. Taking that corner okay. And you have to take this corner with a lot of speed because it's onto a straight, a very long straight. So any speed lost through that corner you will feel through the whole of the straight. And it looks like both of them took that corner pretty well as they are pulling away. Porsche's got very good top end, and the Noble is good up until 5th gear anyway. Cryptic dropping off a little bit in 4th position, but we're still in contention here. We can still see these guys in 1st and 2nd. I'm not taking this bit too bad. Over the hump of the apex, and it looks like we're possibly dropping off a little bit. It's looking like it's closer to 2 seconds behind now, maybe a second and a half. Taking that nicely though, and we are 1.3 seconds behind PRG, so probably about 2 seconds behind Sakis. 4th place is on their own, 5th place is also on their own, and 6th and 7th are a bit closer together. Taking that corner nicely again. Interesting line through there, but it seems to work for me. But then I hit the wall, so that slows me down. Onto the final lap, and we're 1.3 seconds still behind PRG. It looks like Sakis made a bit of an error there, so that's brought both of us very close to him now. And I go a bit wide through there. But all 3 of us now coming down the straight. The Noble pulling away, Sakis in the slipstream of the Noble, well, was briefly. And braking better this time again. Still sliding a bit, but definitely better than the first lap. Still in 3rd place, still just about the same distance behind them. Closing in a little bit around here. And behind PRG, but he's going to start pulling away in the Noble, so I'm just outside the slipstream range, I think, for this section. Only a few corners to go, really. Do that quite well though. Nice slide in there to get me round. 6 tenths behind PRG, but that acceleration of that Noble, that is just too hard to keep with on the straights. And then this section I do go a little bit too wide and too slidey, and that is not a good corner really. Way too much speed lost through there. But Sakis gets the win. Pretty close throughout the entire of that. PRG in 2nd. I crossed the line in 3rd there. So a pretty good race that one. Nice and clean, nice and quick. And PRG was 4 tenths behind, and I was 1.8 seconds behind Sakis. Cryptic got 4th in the Dodge Viper, Yerrick got 5th, Noel in 6th, Petras in 7th. And I don't think Russia finished that one actually. But now in Sydney, still in the track specials. Russia's actually in the Ford GT, and taking the first corner quite nicely. Cryptic in 1st place, still in the Viper, and he thought the road went to the left there, I think. Massive error from him there. That was quite funny. I remember laughing when he did that live. That was quite funny. But he gave me 1st position quite easily there. But I'll take that. So already, after probably less than half the track, I'm in 1st place with a 3.6 second lead. So I'll take that any day. Not too bad at all. So we'll see if anyone can mount a challenge and start gaining some time back. Coming around the hairpin, which is kind of easier to slide round. Get your angle better than accelerate. Does work a little bit better. And I went on 2 wheels across there and went into the wall. That wasn't ideal, really. But a fair gap between me and second place. Crossing the line, braking before this crest, so you don't carry too much speed through there. And PRG has now moved up into second place, I believe still in the Noble. And he's gained a little bit of time on me there. Sticking close to that barrier. And then also close to that apex, using all the space there. That was quite nice. And I always opt for the inside of this barrier rather than going on the outside, because you can go to the right hand side there. Honestly, I don't know which side's quicker, but I always feel more comfortable going on the left side there. And I'm pretty sure most people do that anyway. And coming back round to this hairpin. Just a little bit of sliding going on just to get you round. Not a bad corner, that one. But Sakis has now overtaken PRG, and now he's in second place. Although they've dropped off a second, I think, there. It's up to, or down to 4.6 now. Crossing line for lap 3 out of 4. Or going on to lap 3 out of 4. Again, not too bad round there. Sakis dropping off a little bit more, actually. Coming around this corner and making our way back under the bridge again. Not a bad corner again. Using all the space once more. And round there, actually hitting the wall. Not the best corner from me. And I think Sakis gained a couple tenths through that section. I believe he's still in the Porsche as well. So we've all got our favourite cars out of this class. But it's hard to separate them between the Ferrari, the Porsche and the Dodge Viper. Pretty competitive. And coming on to the 4th lap out of 4. You'll see how far away or far behind Sakis is now, if he's gaining anything at all. That corner was quite nice, a little bit of sliding. 4.2 seconds, so he's gained a little bit more time there, I think. Maybe half a second on me. And again, not too bad around there. I've consistently done that corner quite nicely. It's just some of the others that are a bit questionable. That was nice as well around there. And Sakis must have made a mistake. He's dropped off 8 tenths there, so 5 seconds behind now. So last few corners now. Again, quite nice. A little bit of oversteer right on the very last bit of the exit there. So not the cleanest. And then again, crashing into that wall. Quite hard to take your speed around there without hitting that. But a nice little clean race for me there. I was able to break away in first place, which always helps. It's always quite nice. You can see Sakis in the distance there, coming in the Porsche. So Sakis second, PRG just a second behind him in third. Yerrick gets 4th, a few seconds behind. Very close is Russia behind. Cryptic and Knoll 6th and 7th, and Petrus in 8th there. So the final race for the Track Special Series in Edinburgh. Quite a hard track in Edinburgh as well. The very tight corner section is difficult to do. And coming into this corner, everyone pretty much overtook me around there. I think I was a bit too cautious. So into 5th place, a few of us in the Challenge Stradale around here. Sakis has moved into the Challenge Stradale. Yerrick's also in it as well. Russia's still in the 4GT. Very tight, technical, as every Edinburgh track is. Just having a bit of a battle here with Russia. And he comes off better, and he's got the better acceleration in the GT, so he's going to pull ahead for this section, which is horrible to go up. So much bouncing of the car happening, and so much counter steering needed. It's really difficult to do that section. As is this section, very tight, very technical. Managed to go around the inside of Russia, though, up into 4th position. So, not sure who's in front of us, and not sure who's in first. I think PRG may have pulled away in first in the Noble. And we're a couple seconds behind Yerrick So there's one Noble, 3 Ferrari Challenge Stradals, and I think Russia behind me in the 4GT. Taking that section not too bad. Coming across the line for lap 2 out of 3. Yerrick just now 1.8 seconds, so I've gained a little bit of time through there. Taking that very nicely. No sliding at all around there. Very quick round there. Not too bad around there at all. So I think we are getting closer to Yerrick now. This corner is always hard to take as well. Have to stick as close as you can to the apex. And this section going full speed can also be quite challenging. We have lost some time around there to Yerrick actually. It's 1.9 seconds now. But this section is horrible. So much bouncing of the car. Very hard to do. You really have to let go of the throttle and just sort of know to react to the car going to the left or right very harshly. And that was just not very good by me at all. And then going on 2 wheels here, which is my pet hate in this game. Happens very often. Going on 2 wheels and stopping me turning, driving into the barrier. So lost a lot of time there. Probably over a second on Yerrick there. First and second place still fairly close. I'm assuming PRG is still ahead and Sakis is chasing him down. Although it's hard to tell from here. Sakis could be in first place for all we know, but Yerrick's still in third. 2.9 seconds ahead. We've got one more lap. I think 5th place has dropped off quite a bit now, so we should be okay for 4th position. Again, I think this is my strongest section, the first half of the track. I'm not very good at the second half. Taking this much better this time. Really sticking to the inside of that corner. You can carry your speed through a lot easier through there. This section, still not perfect, but a lot better than the first couple laps. And Yerrick, I think, makes a mistake through there. So we are slowly reeling him in on this last lap. And just kick a little bit of a power slide there and just go a little bit closer there. So I turn, but I did go on 2 wheels. But luckily I was already turning at that point, so it didn't affect me quite as badly. And we can see first and second going around this corner together, the last corner, and we can see Yerrick as well. But I think we both take this corner quite nicely. Oh, in fact, I actually went a bit wide there. But quite close between the top 4. The top 2 are pretty close together, and me and Yerrick were fairly close together there as well. So a good race again, very fast from everyone. Sakis actually won that by a 10th, just overtook PGR. Or PRG, sorry. Yerrick was 3 seconds behind and I was 4.7 seconds behind in 4th place. Russia got 5th, Cryptic got 6th. Very close with Noel there, 6th and 7th. And then Petrus was in 8th in the Ferrari 360. So that is going to do it for part 2, guys. And in part 3, I believe we move on to the Extreme and Ultimate classes. So I will see you then.